What's going on YouTube, and welcome back to the channel. Today's video I'm covering the top 7 questions and concerns that I see roaming around on the internet and that I've been personally asked in regards to student loans in relation to the CARES Act that was passed on March 27th. We're going to get all those questions answered today in this video. Let's get into it. If you're new to this channel, welcome. My name is Jared and I post helpful biz tips and tricks every single Friday on helping you gain financial independence through personal finances, real estate, and stock market investing. If you learn anything from this video, make sure you hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell below so you get notified each and every Friday, and don't miss a video on helping you maximize your returns and grow your money over time. Now, according to the Federal Bank of St. Louis, Americans have about $1.6 trillion worth of student loan debt, which is why we are addressing this topic again in today's video. First question is, who should I contact if my servicer is still taking my student loan payments? Well, if you're having issues with your student loan servicer, the first thing you've got to do is figure out who is your servicer if you don't already know. And you can find that out by calling the Federal Student Aid at 1-800-433-3243. And if they are unable to assist you, you can always make a complaint at the Customer Financial Protection Bureau, or the CFPB, which is a web page that will be available down below that I'll make sure to post in the description. And you can also contact via telephone by calling 855-411-2372. The next question is, what loans are eligible? So those loans can include direct loans, federal Perkins loans, or federal family education loans, or programs that's held by the Department of Education in general. Now, there are some Perkins loans that are private, and it's important for you to note that if you have one or not, because private loans are not included in the CARES Act. So any loan that is held by a college or university will not qualify for this. So you need to make sure you contact your student loan servicer and figure out whether or not your student loans are private. Now, if your student loans are in fact private, just contact them and see if they have anything that they can provide, some kind of interest payment or relief program, because they are aware of what's going on in this time as well. So just reach out to them, and remember that it doesn't hurt to ask just to see if they have anything anyway. The next question is, what if I want to continue making payments? If you don't want administrative forbearance placed on your account, you can always ask your student loan servicer to remove these, and you must call them because this is not automatic. If you're on auto pay, your auto pay has been stopped if you are eligible for this relief program. So if you want this taken off, you have to call in and let them know that you want this taken off. Now, if you aren't on auto pay and you've been paying manually, you can just continue paying as you've been paying before. But if you are on auto pay and you still want to just pay, you can just pay manually as well. That way you can control when you make your payment if you choose to do so. And remember that there is no penalty for paying. So if you normally pay $500 a month on your student loans, then if you pay $100 for the next couple months, it's also fine. Or you can even double up on your payments given your situation. This could really help you kill off a lot of your debt and be debt free even sooner. Now, this next question is, what about companies and student loans in regards to the taxable benefits of employers paying their employees' student loans? So through December 31st, there is a contribution that employers can do that's $5,250 that will not go against the employee's taxable income if the companies decide to pay their employees' student loans. They also get tax benefits as well. So sectors that aren't suffering from this, such as like grocery chains and healthcare businesses and some tech firms, have been showing interest in it. However, good luck really trying to find a company that is going to cover this right now. And if there's any updates on companies that will be doing this or that have announced it, I'll make sure to list those in the description below, or even make another update to this video. Just given the climate and the different types of profits, revenue, and cash flow for certain companies, especially ones that are cutting back, you'll find it pretty difficult to get an employer to actually pay student loans and take on this credit. This next question is, what if I'm working on forgiveness on my student loans? What happens then? So all months of payment suspension will be treated as qualified payments for forgiveness programs and income-driven repayment programs. And the Department of Education is also reporting to credit bureaus that these be treated like normal payments, so it's like you didn't miss any payments at all. If you're on a rehabilitation program to get your student loans out of default, these also count positively towards your rehabilitation program, so you won't have to worry about that as well. And all the months of suspended payments also will count as qualifying payments for borrowers if you're in default as well. Now, this next question is, are you sure there is no interest on student loans during this time? There is no student loan interest during this time, which means the interest rate has been brought to zero between March 13th through September 30th, 2020. There will be no interest that accrues on your account. However, it's important to note, if you already have interest that accrued prior to March 13th, this will remain on your account until you pay it. So if you see interest, this is interest that has been accrued prior to March 13th. Remember that that will stay on your account and that will not be paid for you. You must still pay the interest on it prior to March 13th. And on this end, there's nothing for you to do. All of this has been automatically done. All interest rates that qualify and are eligible have been set to zero. So once again, if you are unsure about if your interest rate is zero, make sure you go to studentaid.gov and verify whether or not your student loan is federal and not privately held. Now, this next question, I don't really blame them for asking because you've been paying your student loans for so long anyway. The question is it safe to stop paying my student loans? Now, normally when it comes to student loans, you always kind of think there's probably a gotcha somewhere in there or a catch-22. So as far as the CARES Act goes in regards to student loan payments, you can stop paying your student loans. There are no penalties. 0% interest is really 0% interest. But consider this, if you're not affected by the pandemic at all and you can continue making your student loans as you've normally been doing, then continue to do so, because this will only help you get out of debt faster and be able to pay off your student loans even quicker. This will allow you to increase the snowball effect if you have multiple student loans that you still need to pay on. This would greatly help you get ahead and get you more months back in your pocket than you would be spending paying interest over time. If you are in fact going to stop making payments on your student loans, there's nothing I can do to stop you from spending that money, because I'm just a dude on the internet with your best financial interest in mind. All I ask in return is that you do these 3 simple things to check up on your personal finances. Before you spend any of that money, make sure you have an emergency fund so you have at least 3 to 6 months worth of expenses to hedge surprises and financial burdens that may come up on the worst times possible. Make sure you've got at least $1,000 of money in your emergency fund. Evaluate if you're living paycheck to paycheck or above your means. If you are, make sure you follow a budget. Do the zero-sum budget, the 50-30-20 rule budget, or cash only or envelope budgeting. Pick one of those 3 budgets to get you started and make sure that you get as much bang for your buck that you're currently making from your job. This is also a great time for you to learn how to invest as well. If you haven't already got started, while the market's down, this is a great time for you to pick up different blue chip stocks that have a book value and a fair market value that is lower than the current value on the market today because of the scares in the economy. If you'd like to learn how to invest or put some of that money to good use, make sure you check out some of the links below. Robinhood will get you 1 free stock on signing up, and Webull will get you 2 free stocks on signing up as well if you deposit $100 in one of these 2 accounts. Use the referral links below, because remember, this is free money for you to just start learning how to invest and getting more income that is non-dependent on your job. Now, in closing, just remember these key answers to these questions. Only federal student loans are eligible for this under the CARES Act in the Student Loan Relief Program. The things that were passed in the CARES Act regarding student loans are only in effect from March 13th through September 30th, 2020 as far as the Senate bill goes. Interest rates have been taken to zero during this time, and if you are in default or on a forgiveness program, these will not count against you in terms of non-payment. The Department of Education is marking these as valid payments on the monthly credit reports. Also, make sure you check your finances and make sure you're not living paycheck to paycheck. And if you need more information on any of the resources that were mentioned in this video, make sure you check the description below where I will post all the relevant links to our conversation today. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you've enjoyed it, make sure you hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell below so you get notified each and every Friday when I post helpful bits, tips, and tricks on personal finances, stock market, and real estate investing. You can also hit the like button to help the YouTube algorithm find me more viewers if you've enjoyed this video, and leave me a comment below on what you still have questions or concerns about so I can address those for you. You can also find me on Twitter where I talk about stocks and real estate daily, and you can also find me on Instagram where I also post helpful bits, tips, and tricks there as well. Make sure you guys are doing everything you can to stay safe during this time and in this climate of our economy, and make sure you are taken care of. And remember, you are the best investment that you can make, so take care of your health and your wealth. See you next time.